The Rosenberg Fire Department has a physical assessment test. The applicants will be scored on a pass-fail scale. An applicant that does not complete any task from Part 1 or Part 2 will be dismissed from the assessment and the application process. Part 1 of the physical assessment test, the ladder climb. The applicant will climb an aerial device to a designated point and return to the starting point. The aerial ladder will be positioned at 55 degrees, extended to 75 feet. The candidate will climb in a continuous motion and touch the aerial monitor at 50 feet. Part 1 will be judged on the technique and timely execution of the task. After completing Part 1, the applicant will proceed and start Part 2 without interruption. Task 1, hose drag. The applicant will deploy 200 feet of 2.5-inch uncharged hose with nozzle connected. The applicant and nozzle must cross a designated point. Once the applicant crosses the designated point, the proctor will let them know when they can move to the next task. Task 2, ladder raise. The applicant will fully extend a 35-foot ladder using the hand-over-hand method and locking the ladder in the last position. The applicant will then lower the ladder in the same manner, returning it to the starting position. Wrapping the halyard around your hand will not be permitted. Letting the rope slip through your hands will result in a failure. Once the ladder has been lowered, the proctor will advise the applicant when to move to Task 3. Task 3, rolled hose transfer. The applicant will move 5 sections of 2.5-inch hose, one at a time, from one designated spot to another designated spot. Once all hoses have been transferred, the proctor will let the applicant know when to move to Task 4. Task 4, attic simulator. The applicant will enter the attic simulator head first, maneuver to the other end of the simulator, and exit the simulator head first. The applicant will not step on the ground or allow their hands or knees to touch the ground under the simulator. Once the applicant has successfully completed the attic simulator, the proctor will advise them when to move to Task 5. Task 5, Kaiser Slip. Using a mallet, will strike a beam, moving it to a designated spot on the opposite end of the Kaiser simulator. The candidate must maintain control of the mallet. Losing control of the mallet will result in a failure. Once the beam has reached the designated point, the proctor will advise the applicant when they may move to Task 6. Task 6, rescue mannequin. The applicant will drag a rescue mannequin from point A until the heels of the rescue mannequin cross point B. The applicant's assessment will end when the heels of the rescue mannequin cross point B. The proctor will let the applicant know once this task is complete. Once all tasks are completed, the applicant will be informed by the proctor if they were successful on the physical assessment test.